Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut. And hopefully you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. So today, the Mets had some news today. Unfortunate news, but not terrible. It's not terrible news. Frankie Montas, one of the stars that they signed this past offseason, is going to be out. They shut him down for 6 to 8 weeks. He's going on the... Well, he's not going to be ready for the season, obviously. He's not going to be ready until June 1st, in my view. Let me read you. As I met Frankie Montas in a significant time and massive blow. I wouldn't go that far. The guy's a fifth starter. I think some of the comments that was reading today was a bit much. On Monday, New York Post writers Mike Puma and John Heyman reported that newly signed starting pitcher Frankie Montas has not been throwing since arriving in Port St. Lucie and will be shut down for a significant stretch. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza later confirmed that Montas had a high-grade lat strain and will be sidelined for 6 to 8 weeks. He will get a PRP injection for the time being and will get a full spring train built up in 2 months. So he's going to be out a while. So it's going to take the Mets to get him back by no earlier than June 1st. I was looking at 6 to 8 weeks from now is sometime at the end of April, early May, and it'll take them about a month. It takes about a month. So the Mets will just have to figure out who they're going to have pitch roughly about 7 to 10 games. 7 to 10 starts, they'll need somebody. Mets have depth in their rotation. And it's funny, I did the video yesterday, and I mentioned that we were going to start seeing injuries popping up to pitching, and then sure enough, this happens. It's not his arm, but it is something that that's going to take some time for him to come back. He did pitch a lot of innings last year, 150 innings last year, but he's basically a fifth starter, and I'm not too high on him. I know the Mets signed him to this 2-year deal. I saw him with the Yankees, nothing to write home about, quite frankly. He was a bit of a dub over in the Bronx. They did not do a good job there, with him. And he's been middling around the last year. Let me see something. Well, it doesn't matter. But anyway, the Mets have options. One of the options is not going to be Dillon, so don't tell me Mets are going to trade for him. That's not going to happen. Also, the Munchkin of Montvale, or a Marcus Stroman. He's just a small guy. The Mets aren't going to bring him back. I wouldn't touch him. He's a very toxic individual. It would not be a good situation, him coming back. And quite frankly, as a Mets fan, after what he said about us, calling us racist, when we didn't say anything bad about him when he played here, there's no reason to have him come back. What a very strange little individual he is. But that's not going to happen. Let's have some depth they could put in. They could put Tyler McGill there. They can bring in Paul Blackburn, who had a very strange, spinal leak surgery to repair the issue, and we'll see if he's able to get some starts in the place of Montas. And also we have Griffin Channing. I had read, and the Mets, and here and there, the Mets are very high on him. They feel that he has the ability with their pitching lab to be able to be a quote-unquote number one starter, an impact starter. Who knows? He was the number one pick for the Angels, and the Angels do a lousy job of developing their players, as you know. It's the reason why the Angels have had so much success. I noticed that they're going to put Mike Trout in right field. That's probably for the best. We'll see if he's able to get himself on the field every day. One thing about being a great player, you have to be able to stay healthy. It's one of the many things that some players can't do. But he's off the field a lot more than most. And also, we can't forget about, going back to the Mets, this is Mets channel, is Brandon Sprout. He pitched really well last year. He didn't pitch so hot. He pitched okay in Triple-A, but he will get a look at. The Mets will give him a look. If he gets off to a fast start in Syracuse, I would expect that he'll get a couple starts sometime in May. But we'll see. The the Mets were really hoping to go with a 6-man rotation. I don't know, who they would bring in, because now they're down to sort of the 4 regular starters. So we'll see. And there's always this sort of issue with Kodai Senga. Now, he got less money from the Mets based on his history physically. So he got 5 years, $75 million from the Mets. If he wasn't so like not damaged goods, but had issues with his arm, then he would have got more money on the market. And obviously he missed all of last year. But he's an ace. We know that. We saw what we saw from him, how good he is 2 years ago. So I'm not too concerned about getting him, getting him to pitch on the mound and having him pitch well. If he's on the mound, he'll pitch well. Except for the postseason, he's just overwhelmed in that spot against the Dodgers. But if the Mets can get him on the mound, that's a huge situation. But I know the Mets really wanted to go with a 6-man rotation. I think they probably would have gone with Paul Blackburn, Canning, and McGill as that 6th guy. But with Montas out, someone's going to have to step up. I'm sure there'll be a competition. I'm sure there'll be somebody we're not thinking of that might take a step forward if they have some kind of like a competition for that final spot in the rotation or a 6th starter. We'll see. I'm sure there'll be other. I can guarantee you there'll be other injuries to the pitching staff. This happens every year with every team, and there'll be multiple. You'll see some prospect that you think is going to make it, and they will have an injury. And obviously, Mets lost Christian Scott last year to Tommy John surgery, and he's out for the whole year. We won't see him until next year. So that's a big, that's always an issue with these pitchers now, is that even though they throw very hard, they're all about velocity. Most of them can't stay healthy because of that. They throw hard, but they don't know how to pitch. And when you're throwing high velocity, the arm can only take so much. But also, before I forget, Pete Alonso finally showed up with the Mets. Showed up at spring training, and it was great to see him back, joking around with the media. And we're so happy he's back. And we'll see what kind of year he has. I think he's going to have a very good year. He's got a great lineup. He's going to drive in a lot of runs. If he doesn't drive in 100 runs, then you know there's an issue with him. But I expect him to have a lot of runs batted in. He's going to have Soto bat in front of him, every time he comes up. And the Mets are going to be really good. So, in that regard, the Mets are going to have one of the better lineups in the National League. Their lineup might be just as good as the Braves and the Phillies, and maybe probably the Dodgers. But we'll see how that goes. But just to give you an update of what's going on with the Mets, and of course, thank you for watching this video. More stuff, and just keep an eye out for anything that comes up. I'm a little late with this video. I guess you know about the Montas injury. But that's all right. I'm not a reporter. I am an entertainer, an amusing person for you to watch. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.